Bible says, by His stripes we are healed. Healing is in the atonement. And I totally believe in the healing power of Jesus Christ. And for the last 8 years, we've seen that miraculous power of Jesus Christ healing the sick. And for many years, we've just seen it on the crusade fields of Africa and India. But over the last 3 to 4 years, we've seen an outbreak of the power of God in the United Kingdom and the Western world, with signs and wonders breaking out on a scale like we've seen on the crusade fields of Africa. There was a lady just recently in a meeting in America she was sat at the back of the church on the right-hand side, and she was sat in the wheelchair, but the wheelchair was the second seat in and the husband was sat on the end aisle. She was sat second seat in because she wanted her husband to protect her, because she felt all the church was looking at her and the devil was whispering in her ear that shame was upon her life, but how she was once in ministry, but now she's in a wheelchair. She had disappointment on her life. She had hurt on her life. She felt that all her life has ended. And as I was preaching, I felt the Lord audibly say to me, John, if you obey me, that lady will come out of that wheelchair tonight. And as I was preaching, I heard these words come into my heart. And He said this, go over to her and say, beautiful woman of God, arise. And as I was preaching, I just was debating with myself, Lord, when I was doing it, I just felt it over and over again. John, if you obey me, this lady will come out of the wheelchair tonight. So I stopped preaching, I walked up to the aisle where she was. The husband stepped out of the way to let me into the aisle, and I stood in front of her and I looked her in the eyes and I said, beautiful woman of God, arise. I said it to her about 10 times. And about the 8th time, her legs started to move, and suddenly she stood up out of her seat and she walked to the front of the church. It was a mighty miracle. And as she gave a testimony, she said, the shame that I felt on my life, that everybody was watching me. She says, those same people who I thought was watching me and putting shame on my life were the very ones that celebrated and danced and praised God as I got out of that wheelchair, because they'd been praying for me to receive my miracle. I'm here at the Chosen Camp in Mellis, and it's just a place where I know there's an open heaven for healing. You need to come to Chosen Camp, because here the sick are being healed. Last year, the lady who had cancer, she wasn't even a Christian, came to this camp. We prayed for her, and the power of God totally set her free from every cancerous cell what was in her body. She had cervical cancer. She was totally healed. If you come to this camp, Chosen, you will feel that it's a place of healing, it's a place of prayer, it's a place where God is able to move. You don't have to come with your religious baggage, you don't have to come with your church denomination. You just come as you are. You just come with, you just come and say, Lord, I want my healing. You may have been hurt, you may have been wounded, you may have had issues in church, whatever it is. Listen, God doesn't care about those things. God cares about you, and He wants to see you healed. And I just feel this is a place where Rod and Julie have made a place where you can come. You can be healed, you can be set free emotionally, spiritually, physically. It's just an awesome place where there's an open heaven, a banner over this place where the healing, flowing love of Jesus Christ, His blood, is flowing with cleansing power on these grounds. It's an holy place, a holy ground where people are receiving salvation, deliverance, healing, and their breakthroughs.